Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another video. I hope you're all doing well, keeping safe, washing your hands, staying at home in the current climate. We are nearly at 5k subs, which is a big goal for the channel, so thank you guys for your support this week. Nearly there. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And also I want to shout out a fundraiser, a GoFundMe for the NHS. I shouted out Jan's Football Therapies one the other day. I'm going to shout out Joe Cole's one. I'm pretty sure you've seen headlines in the news about him donating to the NHS. We set up one called Help Them Help Us. There's a website. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Anything you can give, greatly appreciated. But let's get into today's video. And as you can see by the title, I'm going to be asking the question: is Chelsea's season going to be cancelled? Will the Premier League season be made null and void, or will we resume it in time? That is a big thing and a big sort of concern and a debate that goes on pretty much daily with football fans at the moment, because there is no football and there are so many questions up in the air. So I sort of want to confront it today, mostly because of an article I read in The Athletic by David Ornstein. A growing appetite for Premier League season to be abandoned on moral grounds. He says in the article, a number of Premier League clubs want to end the current season with immediate effect and replay it in full once it is deemed safe to do so, even if that means Liverpool being denied a first title in 30 years. It's really intriguing, and it's intriguing in the article, which I suggest you go and read in full, is certain executives of clubs starting to turn their opinions on the season and believing it should be just cancelled completely and start again next year. I sit in a camp, and I've said this before, that I feel that the 1920 season has to be completed. Whenever it does resume, I feel that this season, the final 10 games, needs to be concluded. And for a number of reasons. I think sporting integrity is quite high on that list for me, because there would always be an asterisk next to this season. A lot could happen in 10 games. And yes, I will get to Liverpool. But also, let's look at Champions League football, which very much is relevant to Chelsea and very much relevant to our season. How's that all going to play out? You think of relegation from the Premier League. You think of promotion from the Championship to the Premier League. And all of those battles with so much money invested. And yes, money should not be sort of come ahead of health and safety. Absolutely. However long it takes for the Premier League to resume, I'm willing to have that if it means saving lives. And I think all of you should share that, and do share that as well. My argument today is not that the Premier League should be rushed back. It's more about just discussing and debating and hearing your opinions about what should happen. I feel like the reason you can't just cancel this season is the legal battles that will happen because of this. Promotion, as I said, Leeds, West Brom, all of those clubs, even way down to Brentford and Preston, potentially getting through in the playoffs. All of those clubs would have issues with that. And because of how competitive the Championship is, so much can change within the final games of their season. And you think of relegation, Norwich, Aston Villa. Yes, Norwich, to a lot of people, will be predicted to go down. As I say, competitiveness, you don't know what would happen in those 10 games. Norwich could have the most miraculous recovery ever. You think not only of Chelsea, but Man United, who's currently sitting fifth, 3 points behind Chelsea. Sheffield United, Wolves, Arsenal. Even though we beat them recently, Everton could still, by some miracle, get into the Champions League or even European spots for them, and that could be financially beneficial to Everton or any of those clubs moving forward. How big would it be for a club like Sheffield United to get Champions League football? So they have as much of a right to complain about this or feel that they can get in the Champions League as Chelsea do. That is the truth. Let's move on, of course, to Liverpool, because Liverpool is sort of the big one surrounding this. And there's a lot of banter, as you can expect, online, and a lot of sort of humour from rival fans. But let's be honest here. And I do feel Liverpool should have the chance to complete their league title. They've been the best team in the Premier League this year. I'm taking off my hat. Trust me, I have no love towards Liverpool. But for sporting integrity, Liverpool and their fans would want to complete this season, just the same as if, imagine this happened in any of our seasons where we were going for the title under Conte or under Jose or under Ancelotti. If we were getting close to winning the league and then suddenly it was taken away from us, I'd be pretty disheartened as a fan and be pretty annoyed if that was all cancelled and we didn't get the chance to finish that league. Liverpool are not Premier League champions yet. They still need to play those games. There's no guarantee they'd win those games. We pretty much know they're going to win the league title in that season eventually, but it still needs to be confirmed. Think of the reverse situation here where it affects a team like us. And it does affect a team like us, because it's not only about the Premier League title. Think about Chelsea and think about the end of our season. You know, I want, as a fan, to see the conclusion to this season, to see the conclusion to Frank Lampard's first season as Chelsea manager. even though there is that threat of us not getting Champions League football, I want to see how his squad is going to cope and how he is going to cope in the conclusion of the season. Chelsea could still win the FA Cup, which would be a glorious end to the season. And seeing how his young players deal and cope with the final games of the season. Just before it got cancelled, there was a lot of excitement around Chelsea. We'd won 2 games brilliantly. How the squad was going to shape up for the rest of the season. There's so many unanswered questions with Chelsea and how we're going to look, not only for the end of the season and how all those players are going to react to that, but next season as well, in the transfer window and all of that stuff. I think it's intriguing of the players that are injured potentially could come back. Christian Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mateo Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, all the players there. Will Jorginho come back into the side? Will Tammy come back into the side? All of these things were unanswered before football got cancelled. And I personally, as a fan, want to see 1920 completed for those reasons. I spoke about in my Let's Talk Chelsea yesterday, contracts. There's delay over contract talks because if the season goes beyond, which many experts expect it will, go beyond June the 30th, how does that all cope with, Willian and Pedro and Giroud and Caballero and all of those situations there? The transfer window, what will happen with the transfer window? Will we have the summer transfer window in the same date, no matter if the games are being resumed or not, or will we have a longer delayed transfer window? Those are things I can't answer right now, and those are things that I don't think many people are able to answer right now and are going to take more time. Also, another thing is, will the 18-19 seasons be used as a reference for how a new season, a refreshed season would work? Would Maurizio Sarri's season come into play and he would have secured Champions League qualification 2 years in a row? That just feels weird to me, and it still, once again, legal battles and challenges, and it just would feel like an asterisk next to it, and it'd feel like all of the work and all of the games and the victories that we've had this season just didn't happen. And the setbacks as well, I think as a fan, I've referenced this before, it's like getting to the end of your favourite movie or your favourite book, and those last 10 pages or those last 10 minutes of that film weren't there. Whether it was good or bad, you want to finish that chapter, right? And I want to see the final chapter of 1920 for Chelsea happen. I want to see it in front of my own eyes, whether it is as long as October for when this is ready to come back. I want to see that personally happen. I know some people have been arguing the lower leagues, the amateur leagues have been cancelled. Very different. These are clubs at a higher lower league level, like in the pyramid of non-league, who are part-time. They don't have the funds, they don't have the investment or the support for legal battles. It's a lot different up with revenue and sponsorship and TV that goes on much higher for a team like Leeds, for instance. It's very different. So I don't believe that the lower leagues maybe are the strongest indication that it's going to have a domino effect up the pyramid. I don't believe that as well. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts, because I think legitimacy of the league is really important. The health and well-being of this country, the health and well-being of the world is much more important, and football should not rush back until it's safe to do so, even if that is behind closed doors at first. I think it's immoral to rush the league back because of financial gain, but I don't feel just because that's immoral we should completely cancel the league season. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'm going to be really intrigued to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.